The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Gloves Are Off. I'm Moses Woldu, and I'm pleased to bring you a great show for the next half hour. Stay tuned because we have two fine guests. First of all, Greg Buchanan, my co-host.
Hey, Moses, not too bad.
Excellent. Just came back from Turtleford. Great racing out there.
Great racing. And great racing by this guy, but yeah.
Speaking of which, we'll get to you in a second, though. But
and a great week ahead here in Lloydminster.
All right, now we get to the man of the hour, Kris Molle. Now, I'm impressed by you. I'm a big fan of yours. Considering the jump that you've kind of made over the last few years, most improved driver, rookie of the year before that, and now have an opportunity. You're in fourth, championship dash. How you feeling?
Good, really good. I'm pretty excited to be where I'm at, so looking forward to it.
Oh, you see, you don't have to be too modest. You could just say it's fantastic. I'm going to kill or slaughter everybody out there. You're going to be the best.
Oh, I don't know.
That's our job. That's what we do. We make
build
you
up
bigger.
the hype.
Exactly. We build
up
the
the hype.
Yeah, for virtually just a bunch of nice guys who are very competitive. But nevertheless, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, Kris. And it's awesome to have you on because we've got some great topics to talk about. And I guess number one would have to be the CPCA Finals. Now, I know with you guys, I know you have a lot invested in it. Greg, you've been a part of it. You've been broadcasting it for years now, so you have a great extensive knowledge. Going into this year, has it been one of the most surprising for you, considering who's on top, who's now on the bottom, and the people kind of fighting for spots for Calgary next year?
Well, I think it's evident how competitive the association is. This past weekend, Curtis Morin won his first ever show. He's sitting 13th in the Sega Pro Tour standings. So you know what? It's great to see. And you look, of course, Kris making his move up to that fourth spot. Lane Bremner's in the top four. So the usual, suspects too is Brian Labacane's in that four. But guys sitting on the outside looking in, don't count these guys out. Guys like Vern Nolan, Ray Mitzwing, they're not that far back. So you know what? It's always exciting when it comes right down to the wire, and I think that's what it's going to come down to this week. And
in the years past that you've been a part of this, you've seen the consistent rollers. You've seen the same names over and over again up top, the Ray Mitzwings, the Brian Labacanes, you name it, Vern Nolan, BJ Carey. But things have kind of flipped on its head. You've had success. You've seen Lane Bremner was a name you also mentioned, Greg. Definitely has to be the most improved driver of the season, in my opinion. But in your thoughts, Kris, has this been one of the most odd years for CPCA driving?
Oh, yes and no, but like Greg said, it's so competitive, our association. It's anyone, one of the 30 guys can take a day money, and it's, like you said, you got Vern and Ray sitting on the outside, but like come Saturday night, I'd be willing to bet there's going to be one of them in that top four and trying to squeeze one of us out. So we still have to run hard and clean.
It's safe to say that you want to win it all. We know that. But outside of yourself, Kris, is there a name that you see that's maybe just on the outside, like you said, of Vern Nolan, who's on the outside looking in, even Jamie Labacane? And then including the names like Shane Nolan, Brian, etc. Is there a person that you would like to see win it outside of yourself, or think will win it outside of yourself?
Like I said with Vern, he's going to be tough. He's going to be coming out guns a-blazing this week, so he's going to be very tough. Him and Lane, I think, are my two picks because they're running so hard right now.
Yeah, for me, I think Wednesday and Thursday is going to set the table. I think whoever comes out, the guys that are sitting the outside looking into that top four spots and the guys in that top four, the first 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be an interesting one because the guys on the outside need to make a move on those 2 days, and the guys are sitting in the top four like Kris, they have to stay there or they have to move up. So you can't be content winning the top four and then at the same time you guys just throw it at if you're not in the top four.
Okay, things can change in the next few days. Should be some great racing Wednesday through Sunday. All right, we'll turn our attention now to the NSRBL. You have their final two teams. Scheduling aside, because this took forever to finally figure it out, but they finally came to a compromise. Both parties not liking this, according to Clayton Ermel, but said, you know what, we got it done. So game one starts tonight between the Twins and Blue Jays. A lot of history could be made on either side. The Jays looking for their first ever NSRBL crown and be a team not named either the Wilkie Brewers or even those Twins to win that championship. And last time that happened was Standard Hill back in 1999. That's a long time ago, my friend. I think you were racing the ponies by then.
Yeah.
I think so. So moving forward, seeing this series, and of course the Twins looking for their sixth straight title. What do you see in this one? Is it going to be a close one at all, or maybe the Twins could pull this out. Who knows? What do you guys think?
You know, I'm a true believer when it comes to ball. I'm a true believer in arms. I'm a true believer in pitching staffs. And you look at the Blue Jays pitching staff, and no discredit to the Twins, but I think the Jays pitching staff is deeper. You got Fechter, you got Ermel, you got Field. Those are three pretty good
Some
arms
of those
right
names
off the
cannot
get-go.
be there if the series goes deep. Is that going to be an issue for the Blue Jays?
I don't think it will go deep. I'm sorry, Twins, but I think the Jays are going to make it a short series.
Really?
Yeah.
You're taking the Jays, even though they don't have bats. What do you think of a team that, do you base it all on pitching, or can you just out-hit your opponent, which the Twins have apparently done? They find ways to win.
I'd have to go with the Twins because just their track record from previous years, and they're looking for that 6th title, so I would have to go with them.
See, he's going with
Yeah.
history, Greg.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
It's so hard to bet against the Twins.
Yeah.
Just the way they find ways to win, and including the lone series that they played.
Yeah.
The Jays ended up losing that one in a close battle because of just timely hits. So that's a little frustrating.
I know the Twins are watching this. Troy and Kevin are on the field right now, but when they see this, yeah, I'm going to hear about it. But yeah, I still think the arms of the Jays will get them through the first 3 games, and I think that's all they're going to need.
All right, guys, we'll turn our attention now to a guy who's not necessarily using his arm, but has definitely carried the weight, has now won his 4th major, back-to-back now majors for him, 3rd consecutive tournament win in a row for him. And we're talking about Rory McIlroy. 25 years old, becomes the 3rd youngest golfer behind Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus to win 4 majors at his age. Jack Nicklaus came out prior to the PGA Championship and said he could win 15 to 20. Do you agree with Jack's assessment?
Well, thanks, Jack. Just put more pressure on this young guy.
Well, he seemed to be lights out on Sunday. He looked great. I don't think
you know what?
pressure's
More than anything, what happened with Rory is that he had a subpar front 9, but his back 9 is when he had pressure and he had Phil breathing down his neck. He had other
It was
golfers.
getting dark too as well.
Yeah, and it was getting dark too. And you know what? And he played lights out, and he was lights out for the final 9 holes. And he pulled away. So even though he didn't play his best round of 18 holes on Sunday, he still found a way to win. And I think more than anything, that shows you that this guy has a little bit of competitive juice, and he's going to get pushed. Now, whether he's going to live up to what Jack's hyping up for.
Well, Jack said if he concentrates and fully wants to be the best golfer in the world, he can do that. Kris, do you agree with what you got, arguably the best golfer ever, saying you can eclipse him? That's got to be a big boost in confidence.
Oh, absolutely. He sees something in that kid that's maybe others don't, and they know if he keeps his attention to it, and he is a great golfer and got that competitive edge, so he keeps her up, he will be a world champion.
The only thing with golf, and golf is no different than hockey, when we had a guy by the name of Gretzky, and everybody was looking for the next one. The next one was going to be Eric. The next one's going to be Mario. The next one's going to be all these. And we always keep on waiting for that next one. In golf, they're looking for that next one because the one that has been the ultimate golfer for the last number of years, he's a shadow of what he used to be in Woods. So I think right now they want to grasp to a guy that's going to carry the sport forward, and Rory could be that guy, but don't put too much pressure on this guy. He's pretty young.
I think he's living up to the hype, and he can in the future, so I'm going to go with that. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll have more Gloves Are Off.